Hello everyone. How are you all? This is Samantha back here with another quick fire little video. Not too involved today. I was just faffing around with some beads and some wire again, as I always do, as we all do. And I bought these little sleeper, we call them sleepers in the UK, little hoop earrings off a very large online retailer just because I wanted something simple. But then it got me to thinking about little charms or droplets that we can add to these guys here. So today I'm just going to very quickly go through a few of the little bits and pieces that I made. So I hope that's okay with you. Again, perfect for the beginner. Like everything on my channel, I don't go in for the overly complicated, and I am literally just sharing a few little bits and pieces that I've been messing about with. I am Mrs. Simple, so I'm just going to take you through a few little bits and pieces. So I've been making these little guys here to make bracelets and necklaces with, and it occurred to me that you can put them on these little earrings to make little dangles. So I'm going to take you through how to make those really simple. I've also been making some little coils to embellish these little earrings, so you can have something really simple like so. And a few other bits and pieces. I'll just bring them in here. Literally just cute little dangles, wrapped briette to pop on there. So I'm just going to really quickly go through how to make all of these. All right, so let's move these out of the way, and I'll introduce each one as we go. All right, so for these guys here, you're going to need obviously some wire. So today I'm going to be using 0.6 millimeter, that's 22 gauge, and 0.8 millimeter, which is 20 gauge for you guys who use gauges. Okay, you're going to need some flush cutters, obviously. You're going to need either round nose or 6-step bail making pliers, and for your information, mine are 2 to 9 increment pliers. Okay, and your favourite pair of chain nose. Really simple, really easy to do, and perfect for beginners here. You will also need a beading needle. So I don't know if there's any sort of bead weavers out there. You'll have these guys. I'm using a size 10 beading needle. And you're also going to need some beading thread, essentially. Now I use the 1G because I like it, and I like the colour of this one. This is like a taupe colour, which disappears into your work so you don't see it too much. What else are you going to need? Well, some beads basically. So today I'm going to be using 5/0s to make these little guys. Okay, but you can use these little pink ones are done with 11/0 seed beads and 4 millimeter check fire polish beads, which are gorgeous. Again, you guys who do bead weaving will know all about these guys. Or you can make them with little rondelle beads and a little droplet bead there. I'll show you how to make this one, but you know what? The world is your oyster, as I always say. I'm also going to be using some, I think they're 8/0s, just to make little drops. Okay, so just get whatever you like out of your stash and we'll have some fun. So I'll clear the table and we'll get going, shall we? So I'll see you in a few. Okay, so let's get going. Let's see how fast we can get through these guys. So hope everyone's okay. Not too bad here in the northwest of England, and it's kind of sunny, kind of not. So as usual, we like to talk about the weather. So let's go ahead and make this one first. Okay, so this is just a simple coil, really easy to make, but I think they're really effective. All right, so you're going to need some 0.8 millimeter wire for this one. That's 20 gauge. So I'm going to say, I don't know, you're going to work off the coil, work off the spool if you prefer. Yeah, it's probably the best way so you're not wasting wire. So just flush cut your end as always. And I'm using the second step of my plier. And I want 11 coils. I've made 11 coils. So you just basically wind it around the second step of your plier. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so you obviously do it the same on each side, because unless you like a wonky pair of earrings, some people like wonky earrings. Actually, with the things that I'm going to make you today, you could actually probably wear them wonky if you wanted to. So what I tend to do is keep the end and the beginning of the cut parts of the wire up top, and basically all you do is just bend them around upwards equally, like so, to fit your earring. Simple as that. I just think they look really, really, really cute and really effective on an earring. So depending upon the size of your earring, obviously it would depend on how much bend you put in it. That's slightly too much for that one. So just bring it out a little bit. Obviously, if you've got a smaller earring, you're going to need a tighter arc on your hoop. But there you go. So that's the first one. All right, so that's fun. So we have coiled hoop things there. Okay, so let's go for number 2. So this guy here, you're going to need, again, 0.8. I think I use 0.8 for a lot of these designs, actually, apart from, I think, this guy here, which I thought fared better with 0.6. So no, I'm telling fibs. This guy here, wrapping the briette was easier with the 0.6. All right, so again, flush cut your end, cut a chunk off. I like to call it a chunk. And then what we need to do is come in simply with our chain nose plier and pop a little sort of loop on the end and squeeze it to straighten things up. I'm using artistic wire for these, actually, because I really like the colour of the gold. Beautiful, beautiful wires. Not the cheapest, but certainly one of the better ones, I think. So I'm going to come in with these guys here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just to take a random 8 beads from here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's random enough, isn't it? I don't know if you spotted my last video where I introduced these little files, massive sort of case with 120 of these guys in. So if you didn't spot it, I'll put a link up here for that video. And also I do have an affiliate code for the case as well, so you might be interested in that. Okay, so I've cut off a bit too much wire there, Sam, but hey ho, never mind. So we're literally just going to make a wire wrap loop on the top of here. I'm using the second step just because I think it goes better over the earrings that I've got, the hoops that I've got. Okay, literally. And then you just wind it round like so. Really simple, but super, super effective, I think. So there we go. It's been a bit of a busy week for us here in Northwest Land. Kids are back at school, back at college, that kind of thing. So it's been a bit of a busy week. So all those guys in the UK, you'll know we've got kids going back to school, haven't we, this week? So there we are. So that's our little dangles. I'm going quick fire this time, guys. Trying not to talk too much. I know I get accused of chatting too much, but you know what? Hey ho. Okay, so that's our second design. Righty ho, so let's go for our third one. Again, really, really simple. Take your 0.8. I'll try not to cut off too much this time, because I always cut off too much wire. And here we go again. So again, put a little bend in the bottom, a little, and then squeeze it too. Actually, you could use head pins for these, ball pins, anything like that. But I think if you just want to knock something up really, really quickly, say if you've got a night out, let's say, for example, and you've got a particular coloured dress and you'd like to have a pair of earrings to match, Perfect way of doing it actually with these, because you can just raid your stash and see what you've got. But I'm kind of liking pearl and gold and these kind of seed beads and gold at the moment. I think it looks really pretty. So I've just hoiked out these little pretty beads from my stash. Okay, so you just put them on like that. And again, a really simple wire wrap loop. So bend it and bend it over, rotate your pliers to make a very nice, neat, hopefully, wire wrap loop. And then, oh, pleasure flight, there you go. I wondered how long it would take before we had a pleasure flight. A lovely pleasure flight. Okay, and snip. And tidy things up a little bit. All right, so that's number 3. So as you can see, just pop it on your hoop for a little dangle. I mean, how gorgeous is that? There's loads and loads of different combinations you can make actually, and you can wear some of these charms all together, even if you wanted to make 3 per earring or 2 per earring. Aren't they gorgeous? Dead simple. And again, perfect for the beginner. So that's number 3. Wonder how fast we can get through these guys. Okay, so the next thing we want to make is this cute little guy here. So I've used, I think these are 8mm. They're just agate, but how elegant does that look? The golds don't quite match, I understand that, but this is just for demonstration. So choose your wire to match the colour of your earrings. So let's go ahead and make this one. I'm using 0.6 for this guy here, just because I think it's easier to wrap. You're going to need, let's have a look, I don't know, a decent amount. I'm going to say about 30 centimetres, 12 inches. You want to make sure that you've got enough to do the wrapping around. So about a foot, I would say. You might have a bit left over, so don't quote me. Don't shout at me if you have a little bit of wire left over. So what we want to do with this is we want to make a wire wrap loop, but we want about 9 wraps here at the top. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So holding it, I don't know, about a quarter of the way down the wire, make a wire wrap loop. I'm going to use the second step on my plier. I'm sure you guys possibly have made these before, but if I'm aiming this towards the beginner, then I'll try and go as slow as I can on this particular design. So you have this here. All right, so take it in your pliers like so. We want to make around, let's say 8, and see how we get on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and I think 8 will be enough. Doesn't have to be super neat, this part, because we are going to be covering this up, but try and get them as neat as you can, something along that kind of line. Okay, and we just snip this off here like so, and then just tidy that little end up there. All right, that's fine. So we have this. So what we want to do now is bring in our little beads. So let's have a look. We'll make the one to match this. I think these are just white agate. They're really pretty with gold, I think. Don't you think? So you pop your bead on. Let's move these guys out of the way so we can see what we're doing. So this is where we make our wraps. All right, so holding nice and firmly, I want to bend this guy at the bottom on an angle and bring it round over the top and round the back and over the top and round the other side of your bead like so. So we have this. I like to do the next one over the top because it covers the join underneath. So I do this one over the top like so. Same thing round the back and then I take it behind. So can you see how I've gone behind this time? Like so. Okay, so that it goes around the back of that wire there. Over the top, wind it round, and again round the back. Like it's a herringbone essentially, like a herringbone weave, but you're doing it just on the one side. Okay, and round the back again, over and round the back. All right, yes, I've got too much there, but I'll use that for something else. Absolutely, I'm not that wasteful. So just chop the end of that and come in with your little chain nose pliers, and where is it, and just tidy that. Look, well, I didn't need a lot of tidying, to be fair. And there we have our little droplets. So again, how gorgeous do they look? So there's your earring with your little droplet on. Really, really, really pretty. A lot of these designs actually you can mix and match at, you know, so if you wanted to have, I don't know, 2 dangles on, perhaps, you know, the world's your oyster, as I always say. So, you know, just take these as ideas and run with them and have fun with them. So how many have we got here now? That's 4 of our little charms to go on our hoop earrings. Okay, so let's go for number 5. I'm going to get a world record in here, I reckon. So this is a wrapped briette. So for this, I'm using 0.6 wire. Did I use 0.8 on there? Or 0.6? 0.8 I used on that one. 0.6 for this one. Mainly because I think it winds round better. All right, so for this, you're going to need about, again, 25 centimetres. I don't know, what's that, about 10 or 11 inches? Something along those kind of lines. All right, so you just chop that off. Righty-ho. So let's just move these guys out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So to make this guy here, I'm just using a very pretty coloured briette bead, glass briette bead. And they're very, very, very pretty. I've got these in numerous different colours. Let's have a look. So I bought a few, and they're sort of in these sort of autumnal colours, but you can get them in loads and loads of different colours, guys. All right, so to make this, there's lots of different ways of wrapping briolettes, and there's some incredibly talented wire wrappers out there that will show you how to do these in various different ways, but this is just, you know, how I do mine. So I put my bead, and I have about, what's that, about 2 inches at the end, and you can see this. So I bend this wire in line with the point, and then I do the same for this wire, oops, over the top here, in line with the point. Now, because this wire is very forgiving, it does bend quite nicely, so that we have this affair here. Okay. The next thing you do is with this short wire, you want to, where it joins, can't see what I'm doing through the camera, so bear with me. You want to bend that up at an angle, like so. You see that? Keep this guy out of the way for now, the long guy out of the way. So here you just want to make a wire wrap loop. So I make a wire wrap loop, bring in my plier, my 6th step, and then just bend over, rotate your plier, keep this guy out of the way for now, so that we have this. And then I come in here and just give that a little bit of a wrap around 2 or 3 times, just to make sure everything's nice and secure, and give that a snip. Oops, come on off, there you go. So we have this. Okay, so all we do now is we want to wrap the long guy around up the top and then wrap back down again. All right, so you just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. I like to wrap the top of my briette bead. Okay, so you can see here that it sort of comes down the bead slightly. And again, okay, so we have this, and then I start to wrap it back up. So you want these to look kind of, not, well, scrappy, I suppose is a good word. But, you know, not super neat, I think is the best way of describing it, until you get a feel for whether, you know, yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so that matches. So again, slightly too much wire, but again, you know, you do you guys. You make these how you want to make them, with as much wire as you like. For the beginners, though, I think it's good to have a slightly too much wire than not enough. All right, and then just straighten things up, and there we have the matching briette, the wrapped briette. So let's have a look at how they look on the earring. Absolutely beautiful, don't they? So you could make a cluster of these if you wanted and have like 2 or 3 different colours on the earring. I think that would look really, really pretty in the ear too. Depends on how much weight you can take in your ear. Mine get a bit sensitive after a while, so I can only have a little bit. But you know what? If you haven't got sensitive ears, put loads on. Why not? Be jingle jangle. Jingle jangle is good. All right, so that's number 5. Right, so let's get on to the last one. These you will need a beading needle. And these are so simple to make, very, very cute. And again, like I say, you can use all sorts of different types of bead. These are pretty little check fire polish beads with some 11/0s. And again, you can load these guys up if you want. There's all sorts of things you can do with these, including I've used some little blue ones here with some 11/0s and popped a little dewdrop bead, like a little teardrop, I guess they're called. So you can, do whatever you like, but we're going to make these ones today. Like I said, I've been making, using a few of these to make different pieces of jewelry, which I may, do a demonstration on at some point. But today I'm just going to show you how to make this particular one. And I think they look really, really cute in the ear. Right, so to make this, you're going to need a beading thread. So I'm using 1G. You can use KO. There's all sorts of different brands that you can use. I would suggest that you use like a taupe colour. You probably get away with a white or something, or a cream, something like that. And you're going to need, I don't know, what's that? 10 inches maybe. Again, like with anything else that I do like to have slightly too much than not enough, because we need to be tying some knots, etc. At the end. Now this probably isn't going to come over very well on the screen because it is blending into my background, so hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. When I edit, I will be able to tell. I've got my needles in my little needle book here, so let's grab, there we go, that's a 10, size 10 beading needle, and you just thread your needle, obviously. So they have, excuse me, very tiny little holes. So let me just do this off camera. Oh, first time, hooray! First time, that's brilliant, isn't it? So what we need to do is, I generally put on a stopper bead because I'm the world's worst for my beads dropping off the end. I don't know if people who do bead weaving are the same. Use a stopper bead, for heaven's sake. That's something I've learned along the way. So pull your little bead down to the end and back through. Just pop a stopper bead on. Makes life very, very much easier, trust me. So for these, I'm using these guys here, which are Preciosa pearl seed beads in a 5/0. And I'm going to be using 7 of these. So you can make these as large or as small as you like. with bigger beads, smaller beads. These are just ideas for you. Okay, so I'm also going to be using 7/8. Is it 7? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 7/8 seed beads as well. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can count today, which is good. That's a good start. Yes, thank you, menopause. I can barely remember my own name sometimes, but I'm sure you ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. Righty ho. So let's thread these on. So 1 gold bead, 1 larger bead, and you just alternate until you've got them all on. And talk amongst yourselves is what I usually say at this point, because this is the boring bit. So nearly there. Maybe all my videos are boring, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are they boring? Okay, not that I'm bothered, but there you go. I do this for me. Righty ho. So as you can see here, we've got 7 gold beads and 7 of the cream seed beads. Okay, so you want to bend that round and come back through. Now I go back through twice, so you're going to have to bear with me here because my eyesight is appalling. So I have to bend over to see what I'm doing, over the top of my glasses, and you could possibly see the top of my head on camera. If you can, I apologise. So I've gone through once, okay, and I'm going to go through again. Now I did try making this design with wire 0.4, which I think is 26 gauge, and I'll show you the result in a second, which is why I thought they were better with beading thread, because the wire, although more sturdy, it was really difficult to get these guys close, sort of tied close together with the wire. I'll just show you what I mean. This is the one I made with wire. More sturdy certainly, but the beads were a little bit more sort of movable, and you could see the wire in between, and you could see the join where I joined the wire here, which I thought looked a little bit more ugly. Can you see the misshapen sort of, it looks much more neater, this one, doesn't it? Which is, why I thought we'd go with the beading thread. So pull your needle off. Now you've been through twice. And what we want to do is I put, where are you? Gosh, where are you? There you are. I put 3 knots in mine, just because I like the number 3. So let's tie it once, and then tie it twice, like so. And I've just got my husband pulling faces at me through the conservatory window. Thank you very much, husband. That's wonderful. We're all mad in this house. And then 3 times. And give it a really good tug. Pull off your little stopper bead. Put that back in its little home. Give this a really good tug. You shouldn't need to use a thread zapper or any glue on it because you've got 3. And when you pull it tight, it disappears somewhat into the bead. All right, so I just now give it a bit of a chop as close as I can. Use a pair of scissors. I know you shouldn't really use your wire cutters, but I forgot my scissors, so there we go. So just pop those like so. There we go. That's it. And then to make the little ends disappear, I just give them a roll. Roly. There you go. They've disappeared. So there we go. So how cute are those? So let's bob those on to a larger hoop. I mean, 2 at a time, or you could put different colours like so. I mean, there's loads and loads of different variations you can make with these guys, but I just think they look extremely elegant in the ear. How beautiful are those? All right, so there we are. That was quick flash, super easy to do, lots of fun. And there's six ways to embellish a simple hoop earring. So I hope you've enjoyed this silly little video. I am releasing another video which is a little bit divorced from what I usually do, where I've done a little bit of a vlog of a lovely day out that we had as a family, myself and my daughter and my husband, and of course Glory, which I will be putting on this channel, but you're not under any obligation to watch it because it's not a jewellery tutorial. It's just a little bit of my life that I thought you might like to see. I do have a private Facebook group, and the guys in there said that they would like to have a look. So if you're interested in having a look at a beautiful, beautiful part of the world, which is Northwest England, I will put a link to my Facebook group, and I'll also be releasing this little video. If it gets 4 views, that's absolutely fine. I've had a good time making it, and that's all that matters, isn't it, really? So I'll talk to you next time, and we will be doing something else fun and colourful and perhaps elegant as well. So I'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.